Imagine a company, not a country, not an army, not a king, a company. A company that walked into one of the richest civilizations on Earth, a land that produced 25% of the entire world's wealth, and walked out with everything. They didn't just take gold. They didn't just take spices. They took $45 trillion. They engineered famines that killed tens of millions, and they did all of it legally. This is the story of the greatest corporate crime in human history. This is the story of the East India Company. The year is 1600. Queen Elizabeth I signs a royal charter, giving 218 London merchants the right to trade with Asia. In the beginning, they were nobody, just ordinary businessmen hoping to buy spices cheap in India and sell them expensive back in England. But India at that time was not a poor country waiting to be saved. The Mughal Empire was one of the most powerful empires. Indian textiles were so fine that European merchants described them as woven air. Bengal alone, just one region of India, contributed more to the global economy than the entire country of France. The company knew this, and they wanted it all. For the first 100 years, the company played the role of a humble trader. They bowed before Indian rulers. They paid taxes. They followed local laws. But quietly, they were building forts, armed ships, and private armies. By the mid-1700s, the East India Company had a military force larger than most European nations. Then came 1757, the Battle of Plassey. The Nawab of Bengal had 50,000 soldiers, the company's at 3,000. They should have lost, but they bribed the Nawab's own generals to betray him mid-battle. His army collapsed from the inside. Within hours, the richest region in India belonged to a London trading company. And from that one act of betrayal, the looting of an entire civilization began. The company became the government of Bengal. Indian weavers were forced to sell only to the company at prices the company decided. If they refused, soldiers broke their thumbs so they could never weave again. Every rupee collected in taxes was sent directly back to London, not reinvested, not spent on roads or schools, sent to London. Historian Utsa Patnaik, in research published by Columbia University, calculated that Britain extracted the equivalent of $45 trillion from India between 1765 and 1938. That is 17 times the entire current GDP of the United Kingdom. They didn't borrow it, they didn't buy it, they took it. In 1770, just 13 years after the company took control of Bengal, a famine swept through the region. The company did not stop collecting taxes. They did not open their grain stores. They raised taxes. While 10 million Bengalis died in the streets, the company's accountants in London were recording their highest profits in years. 1/3 of Bengal's entire population was gone, and one of the company's own directors wrote in a letter, "The famine is a blessing in disguise. Fewer mouths means lower wages, means higher profits." That letter exists. It is in the British archives. It has never been denied. India today is the world's 5th largest economy, rising fast and dreaming bigger than ever. But one question remains: where would India be today if none of this had happened? If $45 trillion had stayed inside India? If the famines had never come? Some economists believe India would be the wealthiest nation on earth right now. We will never know. What we do know is this: the East India Company did not just steal gold. They stole time. They stole generations. They stole futures that never got to happen, all behind the mask of a simple, ordinary company. If this history made you feel something, it should. And if you want to know what happened when India finally said enough, that story is coming next.